Number two on you and was, believe it or not, Paul Newman. And I
Okay.
got to meet, I didn't, again, this wasn't someone that was in my life, unlike my parents constantly, but he felt like he was in my life. And I was just fascinated by this guy that was the biggest star in the world at one point, but he turned his life into so much philanthropy and just giving back. And at the same time, if you read any of his diaries and stuff, which I devoured, or his autobiographies, or I don't know if it was a biography, I've read several things, you found a sort of unease with fame and an awareness of how much luck he had in it.
Mm.
And then in 2001, randomly, I just was in the middle of my first season with the RSC. We had a little bit of a break. And I flew to New York to see a friend. And she said, let's go see this show. I think that the theater is now defunct. It was called like the Blue Light Theater or the Blue Light Group, something weird, like off Broadway. And in the intermission of this show, there's Paul Newman reading the program. And of course, New Yorkers being New Yorkers, half of them didn't notice, and the other half that noticed were like, oh, no way, New York, we don't trouble people. But I'm there going, that's my hero. I had just watched Nobody's Fool. I'd seen Cool Hand Luke, God knows how many times that, I am going to go say hi to him. I went up to him just to say hi. He heard my accent. He said, where are you from? He said, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm an actor. I'm actually in the middle of a season with the Royal Shakespeare Company. His eyes lit up. Joanne Woodward came over, and for 15, 20 minutes, he he talked to me about acting, life, and art entirely. No sense of like he made me an equal with him for those,
Mm.
and no one could believe, including my friend that were there, because it wasn't just, hey, can I get your picture, your autograph? We just really engaged, and those eyes, those baby blues locked into mine, and we talked about and there was a respect there. And so it was finding someone whose generosity of spirit I know I want to try to have, whose philanthropy I know I want to try to have in my own level, whatever the means might be. Artistically understanding any idea that, oh, you're the best in the room, you're mad. That's not how
Mm.
it works. That humility, I guess, ultimately.
Yeah.
And I got a sense of a guy who real life and family and real life and who you are as a person in this industry. And I pick him because he was in this industry and was at the top of it. He always held on to that. And
Mm.
meeting him and finding that he was like that in real person, he was just an example for me. I would love to be a Paul Newman. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Mm.
In my how I am generous to others, how I'm generous to strangers, to people I'll never know in the world, but generous to them somehow. And also an awareness of the humility of on because it's so hard. Sometimes you're rolling high, you're in massive premiere, the world's telling you're great. Sometimes you're being rejected by some first time director that you're like, what? That
Mm.
ego thing can keep doing this. It can be smashed, it can be up and down and whatever. You see your therapist, you talk to, but to have someone who had his demons, there's no doubt about, you read that insecurity was there, but just channeled it into being a good human being as much as he could. Really,
Well, it's like
made a big impact on me.
yeah, but it's like again, it's like a continuation of a theme from your parents, isn't it?
Yes,
And a similar relationship modeling there too.
yes.
His dedication to Joanne was that's legendary as well.
Legendary, the two of
Um,
them. And it was a bit rocky how they met, and there was all ups and downs. But once they met, it was a dedication, and I hope I have that dedication throughout in this. And in many ways, it's more specific than even my parents because of the industry I'm in. And
yes.
with my wife being, an actor and all that, it's like, I hope you're my joke too. I said, I hope you're my Joanne. I think you're my
Yes.
Joanne. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But just to have those role models, like that they exist, because
Yeah.
I can't even imagine a day in the life of you. Not a world I'm from, but I imagine that it is challenging on relationships. It must be,
Yes, it is.
because of the ups and downs, like you just mentioned. So to have a role model there in terms of how to be, on all aspects of him, but
Yes,
the great iconic star that he was, but the humility just talking to you on that level,
yes,
plus his values,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
to know that you can have all three of those things and still be wildly successful at your
Yes,
craft.
yes,
That must be very grounding for someone who's aspiring for that.
absolutely. And that's the
Mm.
right word. He completely grounded me. I mean, I remember just going, I can't, I'm so excited I've started this journey because I've met him and I have a target. I have something
Mm.
I want to aim for.